Players. Not MAGA Mike Johnson having to walk back them comments he said this morning about obstructing justice before the DOJ be all over his ass like white on rice. Players. Y'all grab your tea. Have a seat. Let's get into it. So as we know, one of the first things that MAGA Mike Johnson did to decree and declare his love for Frumpy to the motherfucking dump and the MAGA-mites is release a portion of those January 6th insurrection tapes. Now, that's not enough for the Frumpy Dump Tank Sniffers and the MAGA-mites. They want him to release all of them. So this morning, he decreed and declared that he is going to release all of the tapes. However, he has to make sure that they blur out the faces of the insurrectionists so that they won't face charges from the Justice Department. Baby, grab your tea, have a seat and watch this video.
The release of the January 6 tapes is a critical and important exercise. We want transparency. We should demand that the American people do. We trust, House Republicans trust the American people to draw their own conclusions. They should not be dictated by some narrative and accept that as fact. So they can review the tapes themselves. We're going through a methodical process of releasing them as quickly as we can. As you know, we have to blur some of the faces of persons who participated in the events of that day because we don't want them to be retaliated against and to be charged by the DOJ and to have other concerns and problems. So that's a slow process to get it done. We're working steadily on it. We've hired additional personnel to do that, and all of those tapes ultimately at the end will be out so everybody can see them and draw their own conclusions. Let me go to the back.
I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Now, anybody who listened to that would say, MAGA Mike, you're losing your damn mind, because that right there is a crime to obstruct justice. Not like the Justice Department doesn't have a copy of the tapes any damn way, but for you to say that you're going to hold those tapes. In fact, you have hired people with taxpayer dollars to obscure the identities of people who have committed crimes by going into the Capitol. Is ridiculous and a hot boo-boo shitty mess. So, of course, after MAGA Mike put his damn foot in his mouth, he had to walk back those comments through his spokesperson. So mere hours after he stood up there and decreed and declared that he would be blurring those faces in the security footage so those people would avoid prosecution by the DOJ, his spokesperson issued a statement saying, speaking at the press conference, Johnson said, we have to blur some faces of persons who participated in the events of the day because we don't want them to be retaliated against and to be charged by the DOJ. He went on to say that MAGA Mike was mistaken about the reasoning for blurring those faces. He insisted that the decision to conceal identities was to protect rioters from harassment by the public, not from prosecution. Now, we already know that the Justice Department has copies of this raw footage, but in my opinion, if MAGA Mike is blurring out those faces, he's doing it so the public won't recognize these people and turn them in. Because we remember shortly after he released that other footage, hell, somebody was arrested by the DOJ because they was recognized by someone in the public. So if he wants to release that footage in the best interest of the public to draw their own conclusions, then baby, he needs to release it unedited, unredacted, and unblurred. It needs to be all the way live. So that way we can see who else was involved in this and they can be prosecuted to the furthest extent of the law. I declare, honey. MAGA Mike, you're a disgrace. Baby, trying to backpedal and pussy pop. Players, put your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. This is Double D Mother reporting for the Black Accurate News.